Oh, didn't see you guys there. How we doing today? I'm Quinn, and today I'll be teaching you guys about Yosemite National Park. Alright guys, this is a really sweet national park. It's home to a lot of beautiful natural geological features, more specifically the Half Dome, which is the biggest tourist attraction there and in my eyes the most geologically fascinating. I'm super excited to teach you guys about it today. Okay, so we'll get started with a little overview and history of Yosemite. My interest towards Yosemite National Park sprouted from the location of the park. Yosemite is located in the Sierra Nevada mountain range of California. Geologically, California is an extremely diverse location that makes for many beautiful features and scenery. The park wasn't declared a national park until October of 1890. Prior to Yosemite becoming a national park, the main residents of the area were Native Americans. It wasn't until the California Gold Rush of 1849 that Yosemite started to grab more attention. To avoid further exploitation of the beautiful area, President Lincoln declared Yosemite a public trust of California, eventually leading Congress to pass it as a national park years later. So this slide kind of explains the formation of Yosemite National Park over a long span of time. As you can see, the top photo in the slide here is around 50 million years ago. The landscape consisted of rolling hills, broad valleys, and meandering streams. There was a lot more vegetation back then, and as you can see, it doesn't quite have the canyon-like landscape as we see today in the area of Yosemite National Park. So in this image, we see what the area of Yosemite National Park was thought to look like around 3 million years ago. As you can see, a canyon landscape is starting to develop with a continued uplift. The Merced River, which runs throughout Yosemite National Park to this day, is starting to cut into the canyon and is making the canyon around 3,000 feet deep at this point. As an ice age approaches, you can see that there is significantly less vegetation than there was in the last image, and the forests are starting to thin as the ice age approaches. So as you can see in this image, about 1 million to 250,000 years ago, Yosemite National Park was in a complete ice age. At least one, perhaps several glacial advances filled Yosemite's valley to the brim. Only a couple of the highest peaks are visible in this image, and that is due to glaciers kind of moving into the valley and engulfing them completely. These glaciers that we see in this image are responsible for the U-shaped and steep canyons that we see today in Yosemite National Park. So in this last and final image, this is what Yosemite National Park was to look like around 10,000 years ago. As you can see, this is post-ice age. All the glaciers have melted, resulting in a body of water in the middle of the image. This body of water would be present-day Yosemite Lake. As we can see, there's a canyon-like structure, very consistent with what you would see today if you were to visit Yosemite. And due to frost splitting, a lot of waterfalls are present in this photo, which were formerly cascades during the Ice Age. Alright, so Yosemite National Park is mostly composed of granite. Granite is a felsic intrusive igneous rock, which is made up mostly of quartz and feldspar for the most part. The reason behind why we see so much granite in Yosemite National Park is that it is, in fact, an intrusive rock, meaning that it is formed from crystallized magma miles underground. We see so much magma in the Yosemite area due to the fact that there is multiple calderas inside the park and several that are bordering the park as well. Though there are so many great geological wonders within Yosemite National Park, such as Yosemite Falls, Tunnel View Lookout, and Glacier Point, I've decided to give further explanation on the Half Dome because, in my eyes, I feel that is the most standout feature of Yosemite National Park, and it draws the most visitors to the park as well. Alright, so Half Dome is a huge rock, a really, really big rock that comes out of the ground about 8,844 feet. It's consistent of quartz, feldspar, and a little bit of mica. So through this illustration, I'll show you guys how Half Dome actually came to be. It started off as a large pocket of magma, which is essentially lava beneath the Earth's surface. It cooled and solidified into what Half Dome is today. Through the help of plate tectonic activity, erosion, and eventually glacial activity clearing out and carving up enough space, these giant rock formations underground were actually able to push their way up through the Earth's surface. Now that we know how Half Dome was actually formed and how it came to be, it's time to talk about the physical weathering that came into play when giving it its famous shape of the sloped face. So through freezing and thawing and exfoliation, it got its shape. So with freezing and thawing, water goes into these fissures, which are pretty much naturally occurring cracks in granite. Water continuously goes into these fissures, freezes, and then thaws, therefore expanding the rock and allowing sheets of full rock to fall off the face. Exfoliation is another thing that really contributed to Half Dome shape. So during the day, the rock heats up and kind of expands a little bit, and then during the night, it cools and contracts a little bit. So over time, as some people call it, onion peeling weathering, is when they kind of start to lose layers over time from the rocks cracking and peeling away, giving Half Dome its kind of dome-shaped feature. So, in conclusion, through these weathering processes, its layers of granite started to kind of fade away, break away, and fall off, giving it the smooth dome shape that we see and can enjoy today at Yosemite National Park. After so many years of this, it kind of got to the shape where it's at in its current day. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys learned a little bit about Yosemite National Park and Half Dome. I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it.